Welcome back, my magical star beings. In today's reading, we're going to be taking a look at how will people's view of you change or evolve this year. In terms of your pal selection, you can either choose based off your zodiac, which is in the thumbnail, or based off the pal you're most drawn to. So for pile number 1, we have purple agate on the left hand side with the 4 of cups reverse. Then for pile 2 in the middle, we have the shell with the justice card. And then on the right hand side for pile 3, we have rose quartz with the moon. I'm going to give you a few seconds to pick a pile. Once you're done picking a pile, please find the timestamps for your pile in the description box below, then I will see you at your reading. Pile 1, you chose the purple agate crystal and the 4 of cups reverse. So as you can see, we already have some cards. We're going to be taking a look at how people's view of you will change or evolve this year. Remember, this prediction is not set in stone. You can take this information and use it for your betterment. Use it as kind of like guidance or direction for where you want to be at the end of the year. So we have the 2 of swords reverse, clarified by the 2 of pentacles reverse. Then we also have the high priestess as an extra card. We have the 7 of swords with the 6 of cups reverse, 8 of pentacles with the 3 of cups, queen of swords with the wheel of fortune, and another extra card with the world. And at the back of the deck, we have the 6 of pentacles. So I'm seeing someone that is very chilled, laid back, almost seems kind of non-judgmental, seems like a fun person. So that's perhaps how people are viewing you now and at the end of the year. I see some kind of like interest in music, somebody that loves to always listen to music, always has their headphones in or earphones in, and can be kind of like the life of the party. Like, it never gets boring around you no matter what you're doing, even if you're doing something mundane. It's always a good time with you. I see a lot of people wanting your number for some reason. And I also see people looking at you as though you've gained more in terms of physical items you've always wanted. So I see someone, for example, buying like an expensive bracelet that they've always wanted, maybe never had before. There's something about people looking at you like you have certain items or belongings that you've always wanted, and them noticing those items or belongings, like how nice it looks. I see people wanting to nurture you, baby you a little bit, seeing you as cute and adorable, but also somebody that has a lot of potential, talent, and perhaps you're using that potential to the best of your advantage, or at least the best that you can. I see somebody that's kind of like a social butterfly, whether you feel like that or not, people are just seeing you as like more of a social butterfly. So even if you're quite introverted, maybe this year you kind of get out of your shell more, talk to more people, make new friends. And if you've always been an extrovert, then maybe people will see you even more so in that energy because you're just socializing with many people. People will see you as somebody that always has a plan. However, may doubt your own decisions and stall on your own decisions with the 2 of swords reverse, especially because you want to make sure everything's in order before you make that decision. So, example of the energy, let's say you want to go to college, but you first want to like save up for it so that you don't have to take out a student loan. Maybe you take a gap year and you decide to work a job in that year so that you can have college funds to prepare you for those plans, so that when you finally do have it, everything's in order. That's just an example of the energy, but that's kind of like how I would describe this. Like, you're getting everything in order before you make that big decision for your life. But it is important to not stall on decisions or doubt yourself, especially with the high priestess next to this. This is about like trusting your intuition more. And I think other people are going to want you to not doubt yourself, to trust yourself more, to not hold yourself back when it comes to like not making the decision you want to do. Because the way I see it, if we don't make a decision, that's also a decision. Then we're also just stalling ourselves in our own life. But people kind of see you as the type of person they would want to go to for advice when it comes to planning, organizing. Whether you are like that or not, I just see people's view of you being that, like you're the go-to person when it comes to something I want to plan out for my own life. You're the go-to person for advice, or, you know, when I need help organizing something, you're the go-to person. So either you start to develop those qualities if you don't already have it this year, or if you're already like that, then maybe people start to see you more like that this year. People are going to start seeing you as somebody that has financial stability, or you're starting to create that for yourself and your own independence. I see somebody with like a big smile, so people might see you as very cheerful, happy with where you're at in life. People might also start to see you as even more intelligent as the year goes by. Especially like mathematically, for some reason I'm seeing that in my mind's eye. People are also going to start seeing you as kind of like a light to others, somebody that uplifts them, brightens up their day, gives them hope. People might also start seeing you as like very affectionate. This is like cuddly bear energy. I'm not sure if this is like one specific person or your friends. I'm also seeing something about protecting our belongings, protecting what we have, not letting entitled people or people that want to use us just take from us. This is kind of like saying, no, you can't borrow this item because last time you borrowed it and you never gave it back. You know, this could be like someone wants to crash at your place and you're like, no, I don't have space. There's just more comfortability in protecting your belongings, your home, like your assets, even your own energy and peace, saying no to people more. People are going to start to see you as more cleanly within your environment, because when I'm like closing my eyes to tap in clairvoyantly, I'm seeing someone with like maybe not the most spotless home, but their home is very tidy and neat and organized. And I don't know if some of you like want to be like that this year, where maybe you've been decluttering, or maybe you've always been like that, like a neat and tidy person. I'm also seeing some kind of commitment. This may not be like a full-on commitment yet, but some kind of commitment. So this is either you committing to a person, a place, a thing, a goal. Something about that's coming through. Then the 7 of Swords, 6 of Cups reverse. Okay, I'm going to be honest with what I feel here intuitively. Don't take it personally, but I'm just going to tell you what I see. Some people might start to see you a little bit like, I heard victim mentality when I looked at the 6 of Cups reverse, 7 of Swords. Kind of like this energy of like we're focusing so much on the people that have wronged us, hurt us, effed us over. And it's almost like a little bit of bitterness there. Like, don't get me wrong, I understand it because I've been there too. I feel like it's part of the healing journey. It's a phase some people go through as they're healing. They learn to let go of that anger and process it. And sometimes a person needs to vent it out a few times before they can fully let it go. But some people almost just see it as like, oh, you're so stuck on like whatever that person did to you in the past. You know what I mean? Just be careful of not letting your friends or those close to you get a little bit fed up. Like, yes, I understand in those situations you would want emotional support. Like I said, I've been there too, so I understand. I mean, I feel like it's kind of normal for people to go through that. But, you know, like when you vent about the same person or same situation over and over again, it can like leave some kind of emotional toll on someone. It can be quite draining to hear the same story over and over again. Especially like when your friends or loved ones are giving you advice and maybe you don't take the advice. I'm not saying you do that, but I just would refrain from doing that to the excess. Because I think they would still love you, but they would be a little bit like fed up with that behavior specifically if that were to maybe go on in the future. But yeah, that's what I see. Earlier I mentioned somebody being musically inclined. Now, in my mind's eye, I'm seeing someone like play the drums. So I don't know if someone is gonna like get into some kind of musical instrument this year. If it's not like you playing a musical instrument, then maybe this is like building a skill of yours that has to do with a hobby you're passionate about. Where maybe people are starting to see you as like more talented at that thing. They start to see you as like passionate about that thing. Yeah, I keep seeing this energy as somebody that's the life of the party. I'm seeing like someone at a pool party and they're opening up like drinks. This is what I'm seeing in my mind's eye. They're opening up drinks from like a cooler box. And there's like a pool party going on or something like that. So I don't know if you're going to have like parties at your home or something like that. Or if you're going to other people's parties this year. But again, people are just going to see you as very social. And then I'm also seeing somebody that's like growing, somebody that's becoming more enlightened, somebody that almost has a little bit of a like hippie or spiritual vibe for some. Especially with the High Priestess here, but I'm just feeling like a hippie type of vibe. Going back to the Two of Swords reverse, I'm seeing a sign in my mind's eye, like, you know, when you're on a road and there's a sign going in this direction, like two different streets. And now it's like we don't know which direction to go in. We don't know what street to go down, what path to go down, metaphorically. That just represents you maybe being at a time in your life where you're kind of confused. Seeming a little bit complacent, like not knowing what direction to choose or go in. Taking your time to figure that out for yourself. And there's nothing to be shameful about. I mean, like, I feel like it's common for people to go through that to figure out what they want. So maybe there's like some internal thinking to do about like what you want about the future, where you want to be. So people might see it as like you lack direction right now, but that you're eventually going to have to like choose a path for yourself. And there's no pressure at all, I just heard from Spirit, but also don't take your time too much and waste time on like making the decision. Trust yourself, like I said before. I feel like this year, financially, you're going to be doing really well. I know I already mentioned that, but in my mind's eye, I'm seeing a wallet that's full. And the other day, I was like seeing somebody's video where they're like having a wallet full and they're like, this is the only problem I want in life. And it kind of reminds me of that, where they can't like close the wallet because it's too full. So maybe people are going to see you as like you're getting more money this year, like you're doing really well financially. And I mean, the Eight of Pentacles is here, so people might see it as like, oh, it's well deserved, you know, you've worked hard for that money or you've earned it in some way. People might also see you talking about how you've worked on yourself, how you've healed, how you've grown. And I do see people being supportive of that. I also see people kind of looking at you as though you're really lucky at this phase of your life. And I feel like you're going through certain endings, learning to let go, learning not to hold on to the past. I see people seeing you with like a lot of friends, or assuming you have a lot of friends. And with the financial thing we spoke about, the world can also represent achievements. And the Wheel of Fortune can represent golden or big opportunities that sort of change our life. I feel like you're going to be talking about those opportunities you're getting. And I do think the people around you that matter are going to be supportive, are going to clap for you, want you to win in life, are going to be happy for you achieving something. And people might also start seeing you as more generous, but also protective of your boundaries at the same time. You give when you genuinely have more to give or when you want to, not because you're obligated to. I see some people trying to figure you out, trying to figure out your next move. And I also see somebody almost like, again, don't take this personal. This is just what I see, honestly. Like, I see somebody almost like taking you on as their personal project, like trying to fix you. I don't understand why. I'm getting Aries energy, so it might be an Aries. Might even be a Libra, Gemini, Scorpio, or Virgo. Those are just signs I see in my mind's eye. I see Gemini quite prominently in my mind's eye as well, which I did mention now. I'd also just be careful of like who you tell your business to, because there is somebody around you that Spirit is showing me an image of a rat, which makes me think this person's like untrustworthy. I'm getting the vibe of somebody that like has a big mouth, doesn't know how to keep a secret, so just be careful of that. Because you don't want like your business going around to everybody. I'm also seeing someone that's a gamer for some reason. Yeah, that's all I'm seeing in terms of how people will view you. So now I'm just going to tell you the zodiacs I see here. That was like more so the zodiac for like the person that's trying to do that. This could be like your sign now. So the High Priestess is Pisces energy. The World can be fixed sign energy, as well as the Wheel of Fortune, which is Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius. I'm seeing the Pisces symbol in my mind's eye as well, and I'm also seeing Cancer energy, the symbol. Well, I was seeing like the Pisces fish symbol thing. And then I'm also seeing Jupiter energy, which is all about expansion and luck. I forgot what it's associated with, but I think it's associated with Pisces if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, that is where I'm going to leave your reading. I do hope this resonated with you. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. If you like my readings and you want to see more exclusive content of mine, I do have a membership where I post on there weekly. So thank you for being here and watching, and I can't wait to see you next time. Pile 2, you chose the Shell and the Justice card. We're going to be taking a look at how people's view of you change or evolve this year. So please keep in mind that the future is not set in stone. If you hear something you do not like in this reading, you can always take that information and use it to the best of your abilities to change the future for yourself by the decisions and actions you take. So we have the Knight of Cups reversed, the Nine of Cups, the Five of Cups, the Ace of Wands, Ten of Wands, Two of Wands, King of Swords, Queen of Pentacles, and Nine of Wands reversed, with the Knight of Swords reversed at the back of the deck. So as I was shuffling your cards, I heard pessimistic thinking. I also heard self-loathing. Maybe you're at a phase in your life where you're kind of like learning to love yourself even though it's hard. Maybe you feel like you have a lot of insecurities, and I don't feel like this pessimism came from nowhere. It came from painful experiences, and maybe you have a lot of fears and anxiety that kind of like plays your mind, where you're possibly always thinking of the worst possible outcome. And I don't think you're doing that purposefully or consciously, but it's a way that your mind like finds a way to protect itself by showing the worst possible outcomes so that you can be prepared just in case, because you've experienced those disappointments before. So your mind kind of doesn't want you to experience it again, or wants you to know how to be well equipped for that situation. But you can choose to work through this, be mindful of it, and tell your mind that it doesn't need to protect you anymore. Then I heard the word necromancer. If I'm not mistaken, it means like something in regards to psychic abilities. I forgot like what the word means specifically. If you know, let me know down in the comments, but I just heard that. So I don't know if this pile's quite spiritual or quite intuitive, but perhaps that's how people are seeing you this year. I see somebody that's a deep thinker, that's very perceptive and also observant, that notices and remembers little things and details about people. Like, let's say somebody tells you a small detail about themselves, and next time you're like remembering that small detail and they didn't expect you to because they thought it was not so important, but you did, and they feel so special because of that. So I do feel like there's something about people just seeing you as thoughtful, somebody that cares a lot, somebody that cares to like even ask questions about them, and you don't seem conceited in any way or like self-absorbed. You seem like focused on others rather than the self. For some reason, I'm hearing the Euphoria intro theme song in my mind, like now as I'm in your pile. I don't know if you like that series or not, or how that message is significant, but I'm just mentioning it because I heard it. People are definitely starting to see you as more trustworthy, this reliable type of person. I think people have always seen you that way, but even more so now. And I think they will just see you as somebody that they can count on. If they need something, like, you're gonna be there for them. Maybe not everybody, but like those that are close to you, or like at work or something. I see someone traveling a lot this year. Maybe people are gonna see you as kind of like this adventurous person with like wanderlust that wants to see the whole world and explore. I will be honest, like, some people will be a little bit envious of that, wishing they could travel too. But that's great to see. I also see certain prayers or wishes coming true, and people being like in disbelief about it. And that's what I saw in my mind's eye, and now I realize the Nine of Cups is here, which confirms what I said, because the Nine of Cups is about a wish coming true, or multiple wishes coming true. So maybe people are almost gonna see you as like you're fulfilled. Things are going in your life like the way you want it to. Maybe the only part of your life that isn't necessarily the most fulfilling right now is your love life. Maybe some of you are single and you're kind of just trying to focus on your own independence at the moment, your own career. Maybe you're trying to heal if you recently went through a breakup, because the Five of Cups is next to the Knight of Cups reverse. This is like you're not open to love quite yet because of past disappointments and stuff like that. And maybe with the Ace of Wands, maybe some of you are like open to casual connections, but not necessarily catching feelings or like anybody distracting you. If you are in a romantic connection, maybe I could read this as like you have love for each other, but there are disappointments in your connection, and although there's great passion and chemistry, maybe there's some problems there that you're trying to like work through, that you're trying to like communicate well through. They might almost see it as like you're trying to keep the peace in this relationship and work through the issues. I do see people looking at you as like you have a glow up happening for you. Like this year, no matter like when it happens throughout the year, I just see you going through some kind of glow up. People seeing you as even more sexy. I see some people even feeling some kind of strong sexual attraction towards you, whether you want them or not. I see that. And a lot of people just desiring you or desiring a friendship with you. People might see you as exciting to be around, but that you have things to be excited about in life and you're fun, but that you also have certain like emotional wounds that kind of prevent you from fully feeling into that joy. So don't get me wrong, like, you seem kind of joyful, but then at the same time, it doesn't feel like you're fully tapping into that because of the emotional wounds present. Maybe you're in the process of healing from that. Yeah, I'm seeing medicine in my mind's eye and like a heart, so that's making me think of heart healing. People might see you as somebody that's progressing in life, somebody that's making moves for yourself, especially when it comes to your career, your goals, your dreams. People might start to see you as somebody that, like, makes your dreams a reality. You're so passionate about it, where you're taking action, you're making it a reality. No matter how hard it may be, no matter how much you feel like giving up at times, you're gonna push through it. People might see you as somebody that, like, is continuously taking steps towards your future, and you're not holding yourself back or being stagnant in any way. I see you reconnecting with your inner child, especially if a lot of you had to, like, grow up too fast. I feel like you're reconnecting with, like, fun, lighthearted energies. The energy I'm seeing is, like, let's say I'm going through, like, some kind of emotional thing where maybe I'm not feeling the best. And so I decide, okay, I want to go and do this thing to cheer me up. I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be good for me. And so I go and do it. That's the energy I'm seeing in my mind's eye. I think you're just finding your spark again after losing it. Finding your inner joy again after not feeling it there for so long. Don't get me wrong, it was always there for you to claim, but it's almost like the sadness was preventing you from, like, fully feeling it. So imagine we have, like, sun, but the clouds and the rain are covering the sun, so we can't see the sun. That's, like, the imagery I'm seeing in my mind's eye, which is why I'm interpreting it that way. So I guess people are going to start to see the gloomy energy kind of dissipate and fade as the year goes by. People might start to see you as somebody that challenges the people around you, pushes them to grow, pushes them to make uncomfortable decisions, and pushes them to get outside their comfort zone, and so are you. It's like you're leading by example. People would see you as very mature. They already do, but even more so. And, like, you don't want to get yourself in drama or issues. Like, I mean, you've experienced enough problems or challenges in your life that you don't want extra drama or headaches. Like, you prefer just keeping the peace. Sometimes people can see you as somebody that, like, is a little bit of a people pleaser, but I feel like it's your way of just, like, keeping the peace everywhere. This could look like, let's say somebody here doesn't have, like, the best relationship with their family, and they know that their parental figure is always like this, so it doesn't help arguing with them. Like, yes, we can set boundaries and everything, but it doesn't help arguing with them because they're not going to change their ways. We've already accepted that. So we're just like, oh, that's who they are, whatever. Like, I'm not going to get worked up about it because that's just a waste of energy and time. You know what I mean? Even if that example doesn't resonate, there's just something about you choosing to keep the peace, and not in a way of, like, not setting boundaries. You still will, but choosing your battles wisely, I guess. There's something about, like, trying to not fixate on certain things where it's, like, too much. Like, for example, let's say with overthinking, fixating on negative outcomes, worries, or even just bad things that maybe happened, or a situation that's confusing, or even on, like, a decision you may want to make. But I feel like you're trying to stop doing that. So maybe people see that. I'm seeing you put the crown back on your head. So this is about you reclaiming your power, reclaiming this empowering energy of viewing yourself in a better light. So earlier I mentioned that I heard self-loathing, and then I see you putting the crown back on your head. So maybe this is like a vast change, like where maybe people before saw you as somebody that once just didn't love yourself at all, maybe had bad self-talk, but you're changing that approach or your kind of view of yourself even. And even the way you talk to yourself or think about yourself. I see you trying to do things so that you won't regret it in the future, so that you won't regret not doing it, so that you won't regret, like letting your fear stop you or getting outside your comfort zone in some way, like not getting outside your comfort zone, I mean. And I see you also just like accepting both yourself, others, but also forgiving. There's something about like someone trying to apologize to you for something they regret doing. And it's just like, you're like, okay, cool, fine, I forgive you. Like, you don't even seem that emotionally invested. You don't even seem that hurt over what they did anymore. And it's just like, okay, cool, I forgive you. You don't even like stay stuck on it for long or ask them like why they did it or anything like that. And you just almost seem unbothered to them. And they're like kind of feeling a little bit dumbfounded, thinking, this person doesn't really care at all. It's not necessarily a bad thing of them seeing it like, oh, you should be hurt over this. But it's just like, maybe they thought you were going to have a bad reaction, but you didn't. And it was kind of like a shocking kind of thing in the moment. Well, when I say was, I'm reading into the future. So anyways, I'm seeing Pisces energy in my mind's eye. I'm also seeing like those cocktails that you drink on like vacation. Like those summery kind of cocktails. So I don't know if you're going to be drinking a lot of cocktails this year. I also see some kind of communication between you and a person that lives on the other side of the world, like in another country. I see some kind of like written communication that could either be like over text message or something, or even letter. Maybe some of you are in long distance relationships or you have family from another country or something, but I'm just seeing that in my mind's eye. People will see you as somebody that doesn't back down, isn't afraid, won't give up, is a great and healthy communicator, very mature in your way of thinking and communicating too. And people also see you as quite a catch. Well, they will start to see you that way even more. I see this energy of someone like starting to take more pictures of themselves, but also somebody trying to like be more time efficient with the things they want to do, not wasting time. I'm seeing a medal in my mind's eye, which is reminding me of achievements, so people will see you as well accomplished this year. And for some reason, I'm seeing fairies in my mind's eye, specifically the fairies from the Barbie movie where I think it was Fairytopia or something like that. So maybe people see you as like a little bit fairy-like, a little bit Barbie-like. Maybe you look like a doll or something. And I see a lot of people watching you, social media stalking you, even more prominently at the end of the year. I also see somebody crushing on you quite hard. And for some reason, I'm also seeing Sailor Moon as well as the Grim Reaper. So don't be afraid when I mention the Grim Reaper. This just means that either you've been grieving over some kind of loss, or this represents you changing and transforming yourself, because he's associated with death and rebirth, but this isn't like a literal death. This is like somebody transforming as a person, letting go of the old version of themselves and rebirthing in some way. I don't find the Grim Reaper scary at all. In fact, I've seen him a few times in real life, and I feel like he's kind of just there to guide souls through transformations into the afterlife, that I don't find him scary in any way. But anyways, I feel like that's all I'm getting for you, pile number 2. Now I'm just going to tell you the zodiac signs that I see here. Let me know how this has resonated with you so far in the comments below. So with Justice, we do have a Libra here. I'm also seeing Taurus energy, Aquarius. I'm seeing some kind of community energy where like people are connected in some way. I'm also seeing, I'm not sure if I'm seeing the south node or north node because I always get confused. Like the symbol looks so similar, but where it's like facing upwards, where the circle is like facing downwards, but you know there's one like where the circle's like facing upwards. I'm seeing the one where the circle's like at the bottom. I'm not sure if that's the north node or the south node, but the north node is associated to like who we're meant to become basically, and the south node is associated to past lives. So if you know, please let me know down in the comments, and then yeah, you should maybe research into that. I keep seeing the Taurus symbol. I'm also seeing Leo energy, and I'm hearing the word courage. So people might see you as more courageous, even more loud in a way, like more bold, less afraid to take up space. And I'm picking up on earth sign energy most prominently, as well as fire sign energy most prominently. So that is where I'm going to leave your reading. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for watching and being here, and I can't wait to see you next time. Pile 3, you chose the rose quartz crystal in the moon card. We're going to be taking a look at how people's view of you will change or evolve this year. Note that the future isn't set in stone. Use this information to kind of give you directional guidance in terms of where you want to be at the end of the year. And if I say something that you happen to not like, know that the future is never set in stone. The future is always in your hands, so you can choose what decisions or outcomes you want with the decisions you make. So we have the Star, the 8 of Pentacles, the High Priestess, Wheel of Fortune, Knight of Pentacles, the Chariot reverse, the Ace of Pentacles reverse, the Sun, and the 7 of Wands. So when I was looking at the Sun card, while saying these cards out to you out loud, I was hearing solar plexus. So the solar plexus is linked to and related to our self-worth, our sense of confidence, how we basically like see ourselves in our self-worth and self-esteem. So perhaps that is getting stronger because the Sun is associated with Leo energy, and Leo is very confident in themselves usually. So maybe people will see you as very confident, someone with high self-esteem, somebody with high values, morals, like high self-esteem, and this kind of energy of you believing that you're deserving of happiness, that you're worthy of the things you want, the life you want to live. If you don't feel like you're there yet, perhaps that will change by the end of the year. Perhaps that's something you're going to be working on if you don't feel like you're there yet. But if you do already feel like you're there, perhaps that's even going to get stronger. Now, when I was looking at this Wheel of Fortune card, I was being reminded of a dream I had a long time ago. And basically, I was like on these different planets and I could see all the other planets. And there was like this big giant man. I don't know, like if he was a god, a deity, I don't know who he was, but he was like guiding me how to like jump to the other planets, which I don't understand what the dream means, but how I'm interpreting this, since I'm seeing that in my mind's eye, is maybe some kind of like planetary influence will influence the way people see you. Perhaps this has to do with your own birth chart. So say, for example, let's say your rising sign is in Leo and people see you as like this confident, outgoing, gorgeous person that just like takes up space because of your rising sign. Or say you go through like your Saturn return and maybe people start to see you as like more responsible because you've already gone through your Saturn return. It has to do with some kind of planetary influence, or like even a transit you go through maybe changes or influences the way people see you depending on what that transit is. So it could be different for all of you. I would suggest looking into your astrology for this year. Perhaps it will kind of help you in a way. I see people seeing you as fashionable as we reach the end of the year. If you already feel like you're a very fashionable person, maybe that's just going to like carry on throughout the year. If you don't, then maybe you're going to get more into fashion, like knowing how to dress yourself, what looks good on you, etc., or what you even like. This is about self-expression with the sun and creatively expressing yourself. People might also start to see you as more creative with the sun. I'm more happy and cheerful this year. And then with the moon, this is about you holding some kind of emotional depth, but also depth within your personality. Even strangers can see that there's more to you than meets the eye. And people can see that you're probably a sensitive person. I see people feeling very protective over you, seeing you as very cute and adorable, where you almost just seem so sweet and pure that they want to protect you, protect your heart. Like, let's say somebody's being mean to you, they're gonna cuss out that person for you. I'm just seeing that kind of energy of people just feeling a lot more protective over you. People even defending you because they see you as such a great friend. Like, people being extremely loyal to you. Then I was seeing this energy of you always being at the right place, right time. And somehow your intuition always leads you to great opportunities. Or somehow your intuition always leads you to making the right decision that's going to change your life for the better. And it's like people are almost like, how did you know that this decision was going to lead you here? And you're like, I didn't. I just felt that this was the right decision. And I got lucky, you know. It's not like you're necessarily planning to do that. But it's kind of like your intuition just guides you to the right place, the right people. And as you trust your intuition more and more, it's kind of going to lead you to people that you're meant to be around, places that you're meant to be around, and also just good opportunities that are going to change your life. I'm actually seeing like a horse that's like running really fast and has like fire under its legs, which kind of reminds me of the Chinese astrology. Isn't it the year of the horse or something this year? Horses are associated with freedom, I think. I'm not really familiar with the spiritual meaning. Maybe you should research on it and research like the year of the horse. But with the fire under its like legs, hooves, this is making me think that since the horse is running, like you're kind of like going towards your goals, you're running towards it, and you kind of like have a fire under you, a passion, a motivation under you to get to where you want to be. Nothing is like stopping you or holding you back. You're not even like procrastinating or anything like that this year. Or you're doing that less. I see you also just like allowing yourself to have more fun. To do more things that are like just gonna bring you joy without expecting it to do something for you. So for example, let's say you have a certain hobby and you just genuinely enjoy it, and you're not doing it to monetize off of it, but you're kind of just doing it to enjoy it. Or let's say you're like, okay, it's my off day, I'm gonna go and do something fun. I'm not like expecting anything to happen, I'm just gonna go and have fun. There's that kind of energy of like doing things with no expectations and just going with the flow and having fun and not being so serious all the time. Like, yes, you're going towards your goals and you're not holding yourself back, but you're also not being too serious about life this year. For some reason, I'm also seeing elves in my mind's eye. I don't know if they're around you spiritually. Like, they're not bad. I think that last time I saw them, I researched on them, and apparently they kind of like protect nature or something like that. I'm not sure if I'm getting the details right. Wait, no, I'm thinking of gnomes, not elves. Sorry. Elves are like associated to Santa, right? Anyways, I just also see you kind of peaking this year. Like, people almost see it as like you're at your peak physically, you're looking your best. And it's like as the years go by, you start to look even better, and people are kind of like shocked by that. I'm also seeing rose quartz, like in my mind's eye, which is interesting because you chose rose quartz. Like, I'm seeing a big rock of rose quartz. So maybe the crystal you chose is significant. It is associated with love, the heart chakra, but also self-love. Maybe people just see you as like this romantic person. Maybe people see you as like an all or nothing lover with the moon. You have this like intense way of loving, this deep way of loving, and you don't just want like surface level connections. You want connections that are really gonna feel like you understand one another deeply and like you get each other's emotions and things like that. Like, you probably don't want an emotionally unavailable person. And although I'm not necessarily seeing anything happen in your love life in the cards, I'm just seeing this energy of like somebody that needs the person to almost be like a friend to them as well. There shouldn't just be romance, but also a friendship. There should also be like playfulness, banter. You know what I mean? Maybe those are like the things you look for or want in a romantic connection. But love doesn't just have to be romantic. It can be platonic too. I just see people seeing you as like a loyal friend, a ride or die. Somebody that will always defend them even if they're wrong is what I just heard. But like correct them in private. And somebody that's always going to be there for them emotionally. It's like you give your all to the people you love. If you had like so much money, you would like not even care about just keeping it to yourself. You would buy things for your friends and for those you love. There's something about your eyelashes getting longer this year. Your eyes kind of like getting more beautiful. Your hair becoming more healthy as well. I don't know if some of you are like deciding to not color your hair as much, to do more treatments, cut your hair or something that's almost going to make it look healthier. But I see that. I also see someone like growing in height, like becoming taller. And I see someone like being proud of their culture and kind of getting more in touch with it. Especially if you weren't before. Like getting in touch with your roots, your culture, and being proud of it. I see you also just being a lot more active, not sitting down as much, not doom scrolling as much. Like, I see somebody just like doing certain activities that are going to help them keep active, like jump roping, bicycle, whatever it is. Maybe you're trying to go out more, not stay at home as much. And when I say going out, it doesn't even have to be like going out and spending money. It could just be like going on a daily bicycle ride or whatever. The summertime is going to be extremely like significant for you and very social, depending on when your summer is, depending on where you live. People are also going to see you as like consistent when it comes to your goals. Like, you don't just have this like fire under yourself or passion where you're like motivated, but you're also staying consistent and motivated throughout the whole process and not kind of just stopping, quitting. And there's like this kind of energy of, even in moments where I don't feel motivated, I'm forcing myself to get up and go do the things I know I need to do. So again, there's like a less of a procrastination here. More of like action. I think there's also like this change in perspective when it comes to things that didn't work out for you previously, things you've lost previously, whether it be a person, whether it be an item, a thing. You're kind of detaching from that, realizing that you're still happy without it, that you don't need that thing or person to make you happy. People see you as a hard worker with a lot of potential, and people see you as someone that is working on yourself, and that's going to be even more prominent by the end of the year. And I also just see you being more in control of your own emotions and mood, not letting other people affect your emotions or mood so much. So say you're really happy today and someone's like being rude, being an a-hole to you, you're like brushing it off. You're like, okay, I'm gonna try to not let this ruin my day. Like, I'm gonna try to continue just being my good old happy self. Like, I'm not gonna let them ruin my mood. Because I was having a really good day until they came and said that to me. So that's what I'm seeing. I'm also seeing someone go on like a lot more hikes. Again, be a lot more active. And I'm hearing the word disciplined. And I'm seeing like an angel spread their wings and fly. So this is kind of like you thriving, you soaring in life. If that makes sense. You spreading your wings and flying. And that's metaphoric, of course. So that is where I'm going to leave your reading, pile number 3. Let's just get some zodiac signs to end off. So we do have Cancer, Aquarius, Pisces. Yeah, Cancer's coming up quite strongly with both the moon and the chariots. And then we also have Leo, which I did mention. Now for the ones I see in my mind's eye. I'm seeing the word Cancer in my mind's eye, so Cancer is coming up again. I'm seeing the 5th house, which is associated with Leo in my mind's eye. I'm also seeing Earth sign energy, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. I'm seeing the word January, so that makes me think of Capricorn or Aquarius. I'm also seeing Libra and Scorpio. So that is all I have for you, pile number 3. Thank you for watching and being here. Please don't forget to like, comment how this resonated down below, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for watching and being here, and I can't wait to see you next time.